Hey guys, it's Koya here. As we know, it's a new year, so I thought I'd start off the year with like a reflection on 2022 and my life so far. This is mostly gonna be stream of consciousness. Um, but yeah, right now I'm playing Platinum in the background to prepare for a future video I'm gonna make. Um, Basically, what I want to do is for each town/city in the game, I want to make a video analyzing the financial situation. So, um, yeah, I'll look forward to it in the future. Currently still in the draft phase for that, and obviously the preparation stage where I actually have to be able to access all of them. Unless there's some file out there that I could download to access all the cities already. But yeah, I don't know anything about that, so if you guys know anything related to that, then please let me know. Otherwise, I'd have to go through the entire game, which is fine. I guess I'll have some background footage for my random videos. Anyway, so first off, I wanted to do a top 5, and the top 5 is my top 5 moments in 2022. And so number 5 is getting better at the piano. The only reason it is number 5 and not anything more is because my piano sucks. So so for the most part, the piano's fine, but when you try to plug in headphones, sometimes I guess like the current, like there's no like current uh, moderation. I don't know what the term is, but basically sometimes there's too much current going through the headphones and it destroys them. And that has happened to two of my headphones, and I don't want to try it anymore. And so that's the only reason why me getting better at piano is number 5, is because I haven't had the motivation to play piano recently, just because I can't wear headphones with them unless I want to destroy the headphones. But yeah, hoping to buy a new keyboard soon and getting rid of this piano at some point. My mom actually had the opportunity to give it off to someone, but she was being greedy and being like, "Hey, I will offer you $500 to get this." I was like, "Bro, just give it for free. Like, it's not worth the effort and like the space it occupies right now." Anyway, so that's number 5. I did get pretty good at piano. The most recent thing I learned was the Disney intro theme, but I think like for me, whenever I try to actually perform it from memory, in like public, and I say public as in just like performing to friends, but for some reason it's hard. Either because the piano I'm playing on doesn't sound the same as the one I have at home, or I guess nerves. Anyway, I want to get better at that. So yeah, my friend actually from UW was suggesting that we make a band, and I think that could be fun. I said I would probably be better at singing than playing the piano, but I think it would also increase my motivation for learning the piano. But yeah, I plan to take some singing lessons in 2023. Maybe not. Depends on how expensive it is and how much I'll budget for it. Number 4 for me is graduating UW. To be honest, it is a pretty big event, but I think the graduation was pretty like meh. There wasn't that much excitement around it. The ceremony itself was pretty nice. We had like a department ceremony, so each person had their own like time on stage. But I was the first one, so I was like, okay, I don't know where to stand. So I stood on the corner of the stage because I'm stupid. And so I wasn't caught on the camera. And so like the people, basically my mom was sitting on the side, and all she could see from her angle was like the monitor that showed like the camera that was centered on the stage. But because I'm on the side of the stage, she couldn't see me, so she couldn't take a photo. So that was pretty sad, but it was okay. I took some photos. We took some photos afterwards anyway. But yeah, graduating UW was pretty underwhelming. Like, it's not like there was some huge lead up to it. Basically, all I did was just finish my capstone class, and then a week from then, it was the ceremony. Wore some robe thing, and took a couple pictures, and then went home. Took some picture with friends. That was fun, but yeah, it was pretty underwhelming. Which is why I put it in 4. Number 3 for me was the graduation trip. And this was a trip that I took with some UW friends that also graduated at the same time. We're all in like different departments, but we went to this Airbnb in I don't quite remember the location, but it was next to a beach. And so we were, or actually it was a lake, I think. And so pretty much like every day we went out on the lake, and then we like canoed, and I like to use the kayak because it was faster. And so yeah, we were like playing tag in the lake, and that was very fun. We played some board games, and yeah, just chilled for a bit. And the reason why I put this at number 3 is because it's like a group that I guess like I got more familiar with during college and not from high school, so it was like a new experience, and I thought they were like really nice people to hang out with. So yeah, it was fun. Number 3. Number 2 for me was using my own money for the Japan trip, and I'll get into why I was able to use that in number 1. But yeah, it's like the first time I'm actually not being dragged along in a trip to Japan. Usually what would happen is we would visit family, go to like this super rural place in Mie, which is where my grandparents live, from my dad's side, and then Kodaira, which is like a fairly rural part of Tokyo. It's not rural, right? It's not like the countryside, but there's not much to do there. And so I was pretty happy with being able to plan the trip ourselves, and not have to worry about meeting family and all that, because that takes a lot of time. So basically what happened was I went to Tokyo, then Kyoto, then Hiroshima, then Tokyo again. Maybe I'll share some pics or something, but that was a trip, and it was a lot of fun, mainly because we didn't have to meet relatives. Although I kind of did feel a little bit of regret not meeting anyone, since it was New Year's and all that, but I'll get over it. I'll see them again next year, hopefully. And then number 1 is finding a job. And this was like, honestly, like I'm like amazed at how lucky I am. Obviously there's individual skill involved in finding the job, right? Because I need to have a certain level of proficiency in development, you know, and being a good person, all that, to find a job. But what happened was my previous internship manager has like a lot of connections in the e-commerce space, and he met with Mo, who is my CEO now, and I guess like introduced me to him, and that's how the conversation got rolling, and eventually I was accepted for this job. And I think the first few days I was just like pretty nervous working, but nowadays I feel more confident. I think like one good thing about working here is like everyone's like super chill. Like I think I messed up like pretty big time once, and I guess everyone was just like, yeah, it's fine, we'll just fix it immediately. And yeah, like the people there working are I'm working with are like very nice. I'm learning a lot there every time I get help. We had a couple of in-person get-togethers, and that was yeah, that was fun as well, being able to get dinner or get food with the people that the front end team that I'm working with. And my manager, he's also really great, like really easy to talk to, really fun personality. Yeah, all that. I'm really enjoying my first year there, and excited to go back starting next year, or I guess this year. Yeah, that's my top 5 for 2022, and I guess I'll make another top 5 in 2023. Honestly, like I should probably, like, I think these kind of videos are good because I usually don't really pay too much attention to what I'm going through in life. I'm kind of just like, yeah, I'm not too attentive to like why the day felt good or why it felt bad and all that. Maybe I should actually like start making like a diary or something, just to look, you know, allow me to look back on it later. This is kind of the thing, but even more so than this, to catch all like the nitty-gritty details of my daily, life. I think it would be fun, especially when I'm like 70 or 80 and I have like nothing to do. And then reflecting on life so far. This is like the second section I want to do, and this is more like stream of consciousness than the first part. First part I actually made like a tier list of 5, but this one is just like bullet points. I think like this is something I wanted to talk about for a while, and I never really had like the opportunity to do. It's like kind of like a critical moment in my life where I was previously like pretty just going through the flow, doing whatever like other people did. I watched a video like just today where he was talking about why like the 18 to 25 age is like super important. I'll try to link the video if I find it, but that was kind of inspiring. And thankfully I think I am making a pretty good use of my time. Not like there's like the best way to use time or anything, but I think like, okay, anyway, what I wanted to say for this part was like my critical moment in my life was when I broke up with my high school girlfriend, and that was when I was 20, I believe, winter. I don't know what exactly the time was, but basically before then I was just going through life, not really thinking about like what I really want to do in the future. Chose HCD just because it sounded cooler than the other majors. But at that time, in that conversation, obviously at that time it kind of hurt a little bit, but now looking back on it, it was a really good decision on both of our parts, and I'm thankful for the decision that we made, because I think if I stayed in that relationship, I would have been like more complacent, and at this point, maybe I would still have been like unsure of what I want to do for my career. Probably wouldn't have had anything lined up after graduation. And so basically in that conversation, my girlfriend was like, or my ex-girlfriend was like, she had a lot of responsibilities outside of the relationship that she had to prioritize, and so she couldn't like keep this relationship going. And I was kind of in the same boat, or I wasn't in the same boat, but I was like, okay, that makes sense. And after that breakup, I had like a lot more time to explore like my own like ambitions and my own like interests, and that helped me to discover CS, not CS, but like programming. Front-end development in particular was something that I was pretty excited about. Took some classes in it, did a lot of personal projects, and yeah, that was pretty much like the point where I became more independent and started to think about like my life beyond college, beyond living with my parents, and I think like it is unfair to say that that's like the only event. My friends in general have been really good role models for me. Not gonna like list like names, but like every one of my friends are like really mature, really like on top of things when it comes to like their goals in life. I think it comes from my high school. My high school was full of competitive people, full of people like really thinking hard about what they want to do. Even from like freshman or sophomore year, they already knew that grades are important. They already knew that getting to a good college is really important here. And so like even as I was just cruising through life, because I had friends who were high achievers, I was like, okay, I should probably achieve, close to as high as them, just by pure pressure. So yeah, I'm thankful for all my friends, thankful for my ex-girlfriend, thankful for my parents as well. My mom is definitely like probably my biggest role model, like not academically, like she never really cared too much about like school and all that, but like as like a person, like I think I consider myself a pretty nice person, a friendly person, and I think that all comes down to my mom, because she was like probably the biggest influence to my personality. Always being nice to people. It's pretty simple stuff, but I think being like not level-headed, I guess, or being level-headed, not level-headed, So whenever I would get into fights with my siblings, basically she taught me how to, cool my head and all that. And more importantly, like if it's like a conflict in my adult life or with my friends, I would I wouldn't get too heated over it, just because I know that it's not the way to go to solve these conflicts. And I think in general, like being nice, again, is just like a lot of that comes down to my parents having like a really good relationship, teaching me like the right things, teaching me like all the anyway, I don't want to go too far into it, but so this video, just wanted to start our year by reflecting on last year, my life so far, and I guess the last part is like thinking about like what my goals are for this year. And so I made like a short list of like my goals. So the first thing, pretty self-explanatory, is just to exercise more. This year, I guess pretty much like as soon as I started working, I haven't been prioritizing exercise that much, and I guess I'm still young to the point where I don't really notice it in my body yet, but I think I should definitely make it a habit to exercise more. Not really sure what I want to do to exercise more. Maybe I could join like a random kick around, like a soccer team, or climbing, I guess, though I don't really want to do climbing because like all my friends do climbing and I want to be unique, I'm just kidding, but to an extent, I'm not kidding. So yeah, exercise more is the first thing. Get better at music related things. Mainly because my one of my friends wanted to start a band for like fun, and he was like, okay, do you want to do the piano or do you want to sing? And I was like, okay, I would probably rather do the singing because I'm not going to improve as fast with the piano. And so I want to start maybe taking singing lessons, or at least just start watching videos on how to improve at singing. Right now my singing is like probably below average, judging from my karaoke scores. Not that that's really that big of an indicator, but so I want to get better at that, and I think it could be like a fun like side hobby. I want to get a keyboard. I think I mentioned this earlier in the video, but I want to get a keyboard, and that would also motivate me too. Third thing is getting better at financial stuff. So right now, like, I have a pretty decent amount of savings, or like expected savings, after obviously paying off my student loans and stuff. And I just want to think about how best to use that. So like right now, all I do with it is like invest in my Roth IRA, but after that, I would still probably have like $20,000 or something to work with, and I need to figure out something to do, whether it's investing in the 401k or investing in individual stocks or something. That's something I want to learn about. I think my brother is actually pretty knowledgeable in that, so I might be asking him for some advice at some point. And I guess related to the previous points, is like allocating weekly time for my interests. So right now I just do things impromptu. I don't really like plan ahead. I kind of want to start, maybe, I don't know if there's like an app for this, but I want to figure out a way to have like weekly goals. So for example, like 2 hours of music, 1 hour of learning about financial stuff, 2 hours or 3 hours of exercising, and kind of make that goal, and make that like a weekly thing that I can, work for. If you guys have any suggestions for how I can do that, that'd be appreciated. And then last thing is kind of like, I'm unsure about it right now, but I'm thinking about moving out. Obviously with that comes greater independence, but also higher financial responsibility, burden, I guess. Right now I pay like $1,200 for rent, but helping pay for rent. But if I move out, then it will obviously be a greater number. And so, yeah, just thinking about that, whether I want to do that this year or next year, what the timing would be, and all that. So yeah, that's my goals. That's my reflection on 2022 and my goals for 2023. Probably, yeah. So, probably not gonna make. I'm probably not going to make a video kind of like this in a while. I do want to work on the games or the videos centered around Platinum soon. It's pretty excited to make those videos. So I'll see you guys whenever I make my next video. Bye bye.